Wisdom can be found in a variety of places and from quite diverse sources. Join me today as we explore the words of a partridge, a movie icon, and a theologian. My name is Gary W. Moore, and this is Positively Speaking. The news of David Cassidy's death blanketed the airwaves last year. Honestly, I'll confess, I didn't recognize his name. A friend had to tell me who he was. I wasn't a fan. I don't remember ever seeing an episode of the Partridge Family, so I paid little attention to his passing. But that's all changed. Even though I couldn't remember a single song he sang, I'll never forget him for his profound last words. So much wasted time were the last words that came out of David Cassidy's mouth. Knowing little about David Cassidy doesn't prohibit me from taking his final words to heart. The older I get, the more I value my time. Even though I've never met him, I still feel a deep sadness that his last thoughts were not of the joys and successes of his life, but for regrets. Last week, we spoke of making a difference in the lives of the lonely. I said that what people value from us is our time and attention. I ask you to reach out and spend time with at least one person you know who's lonely. Making a positive difference in the lives of others is never wasted time. But apparently, David Cassidy's last thoughts was all the time he wasted. And that isn't the last thought that I want to have, and I'm sure the same is true for you. It is said that the best education is at the bedside of the dying. There's much written about the last words of the dying. Bonnie Ware, a palliative care nurse and author of the book Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, compiled a list of the last words expressed in the form of regret over her many years of service. She placed them into 5 categories, and number 1 is, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself rather than what other people expected of me. Number 2, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. 3, I wish I had the courage to express my true feelings. 4, I wish I'd stayed in touch with my friends. And 5, I wish I'd let myself be happier. Numbers 2 and 4 are really mine, and I'm not on my deathbed, so I have a mission of working less and keeping in touch with my friends. But we have to live our life with no regrets, and it's easier said than done. But Grace Blue Rock, a hospice social worker writing for the Huffington Post, says it was shocking how many of her hospice patients got to the end of their lives wishing they had lived differently. Blue Rock goes on to list 10 acts we can take while we're living that'll help us live a life free, or at least with fewer regrets. Number 1, let your loved ones know that you love them. 2, follow your dreams. 3, trust your gut instincts. Number 4, keep your work at work. Number 5, take risks. Number 6, take life less seriously. Number 7, turn failures into stepping stones. 8, practice forgiveness. 9, be yourself. And 10, practice kindness. In reading this list, I'm surprised to find that I've written a column on most of these subjects in the last year. When sitting down to write my weekly column, I always ask, what is the purpose of this column? But let me assure you, the purpose of this column is not to prepare you for death, but to help us do a better job of living without regret. And make no mistake about it, I'm with you. I struggle daily, and I'm a constant work in progress. I'll end this column by quoting 2 people who I'm certain have never been quoted together in history. John Wesley and Ferris Bueller. Yeah, you read that correctly. Depending on your age, you might be asking, well, who's that other guy? He's either an 18th century biblical scholar or a teen icon from the 20th century. But here we go. Do all the good you can by all the means that you can, in all the ways that you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, as long as you ever can. John Wesley. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around occasionally, you could miss it. Ferris Bueller. Bueller? 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 So thank you for joining me today for another episode of Positively Speaking. Please subscribe. It's free, and please tell others. And until next time, please remember that when your half of the world is immersed in darkness, the other half of the world is bathed in beautiful sunlight. Life is ever-changing, and the darkness never stays. God bless. Thank you for joining me here for Positively. So, would you like to see the positive, encouraging, uplifting message that's found in Positively Speaking in your local newspaper? I would love it if you could. I need your help. I'm currently in 9 great newspapers that you'll see listed on the screen, and guest commentary in 3 others. My goal is to be in 200 newspapers by the end of 2019, but I need your help. Pew Research says that people are looking for more positive, uplifting columns, more positive, uplifting news in the newspaper. Exactly what we provide here at Positively Speaking. Call your newspaper, ask to speak to the managing editor. Tell them about Positively Speaking. Direct them to this YouTube channel. Tell them about the column and tell them you want to see it in your local newspaper. If you do that, it'll help me grow, and I would be grateful. I'm also an author. I've got 3 great books out: Playing with the Enemy, The Final Service, and Hey Buddy, I hope you'll take a look. Thank you.